Hi Pisces, welcome to your April 2017 love reading. It's Rena here, and I wanted to tell you, I've been saying it over and over again actually, but it doesn't hurt to say it one more time, that in April, for the first half of the month, you have a retrograding Venus that goes back into your sign. And that happens on the 4th, I believe. And so when Venus is in your sign, you're going to have a little extra charm, and, you know, just even physically, you may be viewed in a very positive light. And your mannerisms, everything about you, and this can be helpful if you're trying to get a job, get a promotion, all that kind of good stuff, but also in your love life, because, you know, the word attractive means attracting to you things. It doesn't just mean, oh, you're gorgeous. It means that you are attracting, charismatic, you know, attracting to you that which you want, whether it's attention or whether you want to attract a sense of other people appreciating you. That's really wonderful. And so I just wanted to share that with you. Oops. I'm going to pick 2 cards because they came out together for the challenge. And I'm picking a clarification card for the, maybe I'll pick the card at the bottom of the deck, because the double card, that's kind of a, that's not really a card that I associate with being able to wrap things up nicely. Okay, so for you, the general theme of your love life, and I will remember to mention people who are single, because I did get somebody asking me to do that, is the 5 of Swords. There are different interpretations of this. This one big one is somebody doing something behind your back. So this could involve somebody who is cheating. On your end of things, if you are involved in this and you are that person, then it could be, you know, there's other people involved. You can see them in the background. And it can be just on the level of people that are bad-mouthing you, and somehow that's affecting your love life. But I do see like treachery. What else? It can be a situation, I think, where if you were in a extramarital affair, I don't like to even say it like that. Let's just say that you are the other woman or the other man in a love triangle, and you end up, quote unquote, getting them. This 5 of Swords could be an empty victory. You get the person that you thought it was so important to get. But when you finally get them, it's like, what have I really gained? In some cases, this can be a situation where maybe you end up putting down your sword. You just like give up the fight, because in the past position we have the 3 of Swords. So it would suggest to me that you have been feeling the sting of rejection for some reason, that perhaps somebody did that to you, And so now maybe you have stopped fighting the situation. Maybe you tried to be part of it and tolerate it, hoping that this person would, choose you, whatever you want to call that behavior. And then you finally just say, I've had enough. It's like surrender, perhaps. This could involve an air sign individual, Gemini, the usual suspect, but possibly an Aquarius or possibly a Libra. And, Gemini is another mutable sign. That's why I always think that it could be a Gemini person. And Gemini tends to, another thing about Gemini is they tend to like variety. Plus Gemini rules the third house, and that was the number 3. So I don't know if that's true for you, but, these 2 cards indicate that there may be some drama going on in your love life. Now, this could be for somebody who, if you're single, you may have, had a recent heartbreak. And maybe now you're just kind of not even trying to get back with that person. What is happening right now is represented by the Empress card, or this may be a person who is connected to this. This tends to be like a very down-to-earth, Earth Mother type of an energy. If you are someone, like let's say you're a woman and you found out that the person you're with has fathered a child with another woman, this could be representing the mother, the other woman who is a mother. She is an earthy person. She could be a Taurus or a Libra, ruled by Venus. She may be very feminine. She may use her feminine wiles. She may be very sensual. So you may feel like this woman used her sexuality, even though this is not in the reversed position. It could still, even in the upright position, it could show the contrast between you and her. You may have, maybe you trusted this woman, and she, for some reason, maybe she's your friend or something, but, that person may be with your man right now. It could be that you are happy, and maybe you could be that person, because you may feel like you were in a relationship with somebody that you couldn't express that side of yourself. If you were with an air sign person or somebody who has a preponderance of air in their chart, they may have not acknowledged that side of life enough for your liking. And you may have felt that you couldn't be sensual because this person did not appreciate that. And now you may be feeling more like that. And as a matter of fact, the higher message, which reflects kind of the spiritual part of things, is a Pentacles or an Earth card, the Queen of Pentacles. So this could be like if let's say that you have left a marriage or you're just on your own, this may be saying you can do better all by yourself. Is that how it goes? I don't really know. But I mean, no, it's supposed to be I can do bad all by myself. No, this is like I'm changing it. You can do better all by yourself because you have the means to support yourself and you have a very comfortable home. And so you know that you are able to take care of yourself and you don't have to count on anybody, and you're enjoying that aspect of life. So this is another card like the Empress. So even on the spiritual level, there's nothing to fear because you're able to take care of business and also enjoy yourself. Maybe you were in, when I see those swords, I always think of being in a tense situation. And now I feel like maybe you're in a more comfortable situation. It may not have felt comfortable at the time when you were discovering, maybe you're discovering that this person was doing things behind your back or whatever. But now you may be feeling a lot more like a sense of relief even. Now, when I was shuffling, two cards seemed to want to come out together, so I picked both of them. And these are the challenge cards. The Seven of Wands and the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is a card that may be going back to that person if they are an air sign and saying, you know, don't you dare take them back if they are trying to worm their way back into your life, because if this person really, you know, turns your world upside down, Pisces, you may feel a softening of giving in. And the Seven of Wands is about standing your ground, and you may feel a wavering. And so again, you know, especially probably the most you know, vulnerable time for you is those first 2 weeks of April, because when Venus is still retrograde and when it's in your sign, you know, Venus in Pisces tends to be very compassionate, and it tends to overlook everything that the person did, and it's like they're overlooking everything, and that is not, you know, it's not seeing life as it is, and, you know, glossing over things isn't going to be, you know, isn't going to end well if you don't see any improvement in the situation. In other words, if you're just like forgiving someone who may not deserve forgiveness. I don't mean that nobody, you know, that anybody doesn't deserve forgiveness. I'm talking about forgiving and allowing them back into your life. Okay, you know, you can forgive and stay the hell away from somebody. That's what I'm kind of getting at. So you may just kind of like feel, especially if they were the one, you know, with the Three of Swords, they may have broken your heart, and they may have rejected you, because the Three of Swords can be about rejection. Oh, you know what I should have said though too, Pisces, is that the Five of Swords could be about revenge in a way. That maybe, you know, somebody broke your heart and you've been tempted to just like badmouth them, or, you know, because the Five of Swords can actually be like slander or gossip, you know, really tearing someone a new one, just really being very negative in your speech and abusive. And you may feel justified if somebody did that, but it doesn't get you where you want to go, because it keeps that person active in your vibration, so that you're constantly thinking about them. And it keeps, like, if you know about energy, what do they call those things? Cords? Energetic cords. It's like, you know, you keep, and especially if you dealt with an energy vampire, those people can suck you dry from a distance, because even when they are not in a relationship with you, you may still feel like kind of that you're connected to them. And if you keep telling people the bad things that they did, instead of moving on and, you know, really actively trying to forgive them, which means to put the past behind you, then you may just keep them there. And so that can mean that you soften if they try to come back, because all along it was all about wanting them back in the first place. And so you may just be very vulnerable to that. The other thing too is that the Seven of Wands in the upright position is about you really, you know, defending yourself, but not in an insecure way, but really standing in your truth and having dignity. And if you allow somebody who did you wrong to just come back willy-nilly, and there's no like thought of like a reflection on what they did. It's just basically, yeah, I decided I'll come back to you. And if you're just like, oh, thank God, you know, and there's no thought of what they've done, no discussion of it, then what's going to change? They're going to probably do it again. And the Seven of Wands is a protective defense posture in a positive way. In the reverse position, it's, you know, kind of lying down and letting people walk all over you. So you have to be careful. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. And this card is about, you know, being very, the Nine of Swords is about insomnia and anxiety, you know, anxiety attacks. It doesn't mean you're going to have an anxiety attack. It means that if you don't kind of get yourself in a comfortable position in terms of not dealing with a past negative situation, you will be susceptible to taking back somebody like that, because you'll just be like, oh, I have to, you know, some people are like that. It's like if they get rejected, if somebody walks out on them, it triggers something within them that comes maybe from a long time ago. You know, could come from their early childhood, that, you know, a parent died, their parents divorced, or a parent just like disappeared, walked out, and that kind of thing, and they might have blamed themselves. They never really got over that, and it reactivates that kind of angst or trauma, and that can really set the person into a frenzy and want that, you know, that person back, no matter how bad the relationship was. Okay, and so the advice, or what's coming in, is the Emperor. For some people that are married, this could be consulting a lawyer and really feeling like you're done with the relationship. I can't help but notice that he has a sword as well, even though this is a major arcana card. And I think of the sword cards as connected to the legal profession, because it has to do with, you know, very cutting. Isn't there something called the sword of justice? I don't know. But anyway, the kind of sharp mind that you have to have, and the detachment that the air signs represent, that is about not allowing your emotions to interfere with your decision making, where you're just kind of very rational about it. And Pisces people need to gravitate towards that type of a mentality sometimes, because you do tend to be very easily moved by sympathy. It's a wonderful quality. I just had a comment. I'm not trying to call out people for their comments, by the way. But, you know, people sometimes think if I say certain things about a sign, and I don't say it just about Pisces, just to let you know. I do say it about other signs. And some of them are shadow aspects, and I say it because if you recognize that part of yourself, then that's something to work on. It's easy to, you know, tell somebody how great they are in certain areas, but there's no work to be done if you already have mastered something. So I say this in the best constructive way, is that for those of you who feel that you're very easily, you could say manipulated, but it's moved by other people's you know, situations, or if they, you know, are kind to you, and then you become confused, because then you're like, well, I want to get divorced, but now all of a sudden my spouse is being very nice to me. And it depends on the situation. You can't say 100% across the board that something's going to be one way. But if you know that nothing has fundamentally changed. If you're married, let's say you're married to somebody who's an alcoholic or another type of addict, and they're still using, and they're all of a sudden being sweet to you, you can say to yourself, wow, you know, I wish that this person would have been this way during my marriage, but they haven't quit drinking. So I know that the problems aren't going to go away, and you can be very pragmatic about it, but by the same token, you know, you can still have your heart open. It's not that you have your heart closed. Now, the outcome, by the way, the Emperor can also be that an Aries person is coming into the picture. So, you know, if you know any Aries, then you might understand what that means. Oh, and also, it could mean that when Venus goes back into Aries, I think that'll be towards the end of April, maybe you'll start to see forward motion. That's always a possibility too. You know, when Venus goes direct, maybe a lot of this mayhem, if it is mayhem for you, is happening because Venus is retrograde. The outcome, I did get 2 cards. I did pick a clarification card. I got the Devil card. The Devil card is connected to Capricorn. Another comment I got, I think, with another sign, probably with Capricorn. Capricorn, all signs in the major arcana are connected to either actual signs or planets. So it's not, obviously I'm not saying that Capricorns are devils. The reason is probably why they associate it with Capricorn is because Saturn, the ruler of Capricorn, can deal with issues that the devil connects to, like in the shadow aspect, of course. An over concern with materialism and status. And so I think of, you know, the fact I picked these 2 cards is like kind of a, you know, a cautionary tale. If you don't change your life, and of course you have to be the one to change your life, Pisces. You can't wait for other people to change, for your situation to change. If you don't change, you will be possibly caught up in this pattern with this person. The Devil card can represent obsessions, compulsions that keep people ensnared. You know, the Devil is about ensnarement. And the Justice card can indicate that perhaps if you decide to leave the marriage, or just to make your life more balanced by, you know, not indulging in a relationship with somebody who maybe throws you off kilter because of their behavior, that you will regain that sense of clarity in your life that the Judgment card represents. The Justice card. The Justice card is connected to Libra, by the way. And it's so funny because when I was talking about Swords cards, I was specifically mentioning Gemini, but, you know, Libra is a sword card, so that may be reiterating. Maybe that is the person who is the bane of your existence. Maybe they are a Libran. If that's the case, Libra is a sign that is associated in its shadow aspect with indecisiveness. And I feel in some cases there is a fickle quality because Libra loves to have these romances. I mean, they love, so they may get involved in one relationship after another to experience that rush of that initial love situation, and then they maybe they want to move on to the next thing. I don't know. I can't read anybody's mind. But it could be talking about Libra as well. But in any case, Pisces, it sure is interesting, as it always is with these love readings. So if you enjoyed this and you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below. Otherwise, have a great April. Bye.